Or last, no, I will talk.
I'm
All
sorry.
right.
I'm sorry.
Welcome back, everyone. It is Wednesday, so we have our Meet the School member. So I have Joel, Lauren, my regulars on, and we have Delroy on from the school community. So morning, everyone. So, Delroy, why don't you
Yeah.
quickly maybe introduce yourself, give a 60-second spiel on who you are and where you invest.
Okay, so I'm Delroy. Yeah, I invest in Connecticut, and my main strategy so far has been house hacking. Me and my wife. So we've been house hacking for the past 3 years. So every year we move to a different triplex. So three properties, 9 units, and it's been going good so far.
Oh yeah.
Mhm.
Why triplex not quadplex?
The quadplex is not as many in Connecticut, so we focus. So
Oh,
there are more triplexes than quadplexes, and the
okay.
quadplexes are a lot more expensive. So that's why.
Hmm.
Sorry, I'm scrambling to message Flavio that we're live because he gets upset if I don't remind him that we're live streaming. So I just sent him the link. But everyone, thanks for tuning in. Joel, Lauren, I did send you guys. I did notice Delroy on Curtis's channel. That's where I saw him first. I know he's been in the school community, but he was on Curtis PE Turn RE's channel. So I was very interested to see and hear more about his story. But did you guys have any quick questions off the bat for Delroy?
Well, I think one of the things that comes to mind, from the tactical standpoint, is that when you buy a multifamily property in the old days, you could do an FHA loan, 3.5% down, but you can only have one FHA loan.
Mm-hmm.
So you can only house hack with multifamily only one time
Mm-hmm.
until they made the changes 3 or 4 years ago that you can now do conventional 5% down
Mm-hmm.
and do multifamily. So I just think it's cool to hear that you're doing that because from my perspective, a lot of the people that I work with or know that have been in the real estate game, they've slowed down on acquiring as rates have gone up, prices have gone up, and they're just focusing on different things. And you're in the game and accelerating your journey and
Mm-hmm.
using the tools that are out there. So I just think it's really cool to hear that, and just can't wait to hear more.
Yeah. So the first one was FHA and it was 3.5% down. So we got one for it was a value add and we got that one for 375. So that was 13K. And we lived in it for like a year and a half, and we saved up and increased the value and did some work. And now that $13,000, 3.5% down, is this house is now worth like 580. So we're looking to like, and then I we did the next one in my wife's name, so she did the 5% conventional down, and then because my first one was FHA, we were able to do a next one with 5% down conventional in my name. So we're doing like a tag thing. Tag I'm it,
Mm-hmm.
tag she is. So we're working together as a partner to like create all these get all these assets.
Love it.
Um, I do. Maybe you can touch on the Connecticut market or where you're at, Delroy, because I have no idea about that area. I think if anyone here, maybe Lauren, have you been there? Because you're our world traveler, so you might have
No,
some
I
idea.
have not been to Connecticut.
All right, so
Mhm.
Delroy, tell us about Connecticut and the real estate market there.
So Connecticut is a very interesting market. It's still competitive because a lot of people are moving from New York because New York is so expensive, right? So you get more value for your money in Connecticut. So a lot of people are moving from New York, which causes the prices to keep going up and the market to keep inflating that much, right? So and people are moving from Massachusetts too. So we're like stuck in the middle between New York, Massachusetts, New Jersey, and Connecticut is like a lot more affordable compared to those other states. So a lot of investors are coming in. I met investors from Albany coming down to some of the areas I'm investing in, and from New York also. So yeah.
Is it a city where you are? Like I'm so intrigued by your this building in your background and like in a way it's like what I imagine like Connecticut to be if you're like in the city. It looks very like colonial old.
So I work in New York, so I commute from Connecticut to New York.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
Yeah. So the house acts I do are pretty far away from the city, but they're like an express train away. So the first house act I was working remotely, and I used to just come to the office 1 or 2 times a week. So it was like 1 hour, 1.5 hours. so it wasn't too bad. And then we were forced to come back in office 5 days a week, and so the commute was like 2 hours, right? But it's like the price you have to pay to get into the game.
Yeah,
So the price I had to pay was a long commute once I was fully remote,
yeah,
fully back in office.
yeah. But we're I mean, those are I feel like those are like the sacrifices you have to make to be able to invest. And it's a sacrifice now, but in the long run, gonna be so worth it. And
And we
already
are.
paying
Mhm.
off.
Yeah, it's already paying off, and because the equity have grown so much, and the rents are covering the mortgage pretty well. And even though it's 5% down or 3.5% down, the rents are covering the mortgages, and our income is basically just for us and to reinvest also.
Yeah.
Yeah, I did. I want to mention, like I said, I did catch you on Curtis's interview on his channel, PE turned RE. You are in the school community and Coach Carson's community. I was re-listening to the episode today with you and Curtis, and I was kind of joking to myself that I actually should get your brother and your wife on instead
Mm,
of you, right? I mean, Lauren's talking about the sacrifices, though, right? And you're definitely sacrificing with the house act, but I think your wife also was commuting, right? You were talking about how she had to commute like hour, half, 2 hours or something, and that was so she's kind of on board this. It seems like, right?
yeah, she agreed. So when we started the date, I'm like, yeah, I wanna be retired in Jamaica in 10 years. Like some people look at me crazy, but I'm like, yeah, it's possible. So and she was on board and like very supportive, even though the commute was long for a little bit. And she still like hang in there and just like we work together and just figure it out.
So where are you guys at in that 10-year journey? And is that still the plan?
Yes, so now we're in like a fork in the road. So we're thinking about selling like the first house to acquire more triplexes. So because if we sell, it's gonna be like probably like 200K net because of we lived there for like 2 years, so no capital gains tax. So basically we're thinking of selling to acquire more. So I think we're like 40-50% there.
Yeah.
So maybe 7 more years, 5 to 7 more years,
Yeah.
hopefully.
And people are already joking in the comments section that Gus left Connecticut for a better state. But yeah, Gus is here. Like I said, we had a great time. Me and Gus live streaming yesterday. I brought up some clip, or actually, I brought up one clip. We were going to discuss some things, and we couldn't get off that topic. I mean, the comment section was just filling up. It was kind of about what to leave your kids, how much wealth you want to create for them, or, private school, public school, all this stuff. And we didn't even get to the other topics of the other clips. So definitely Gus and I will have to dig into that next week Tuesday. But yeah, Delroy, and I think the funny thing, and I think there was a question. Where was it? Was it back from? Oh, so you came from Jamaica, from Jamaica in 2016, right?
Yes,
And
yes,
and how was that? I think part of it, you got a job at Walmart. Was it Walmart?
yeah.
And you're kind of just like, "Oh, is this the American dream? Am I here for this?"
Yes. So like when I came from Jamaica and I visited Bridgeport, Connecticut, I'm like, this isn't what I saw on TV growing up. Like I was expecting something different. So I was more in the not so affluent part of Connecticut. So that was like a shocker right there, because I didn't expect to see what I saw, like people on the street, like crackheads and stuff like that. I'm like, this is very new. This is not what I saw on Disney. So that was very interesting. And then I got like my first job was actually at FedEx. I was like packing trucks, like unloading trucks in like 4 a.m. in the morning. I'm like, yo, this is some hard life right here. So, and then eventually I got a job at Walmart, and the managers were pretty rude, and I'm like, these people are so rude. And then then my brother encouraged me to go back to school, and I started going back to school. So I worked at Walmart for a while, going to school full time. And my brother invested in a quadplex in Connecticut, and I helped him out a little bit. So that's why I learned more about triplexes, and it was very interesting to see that I got an inspiration about multifamily investing from him. So I just went to school and just like build up myself for a couple of years, and then until I was able to get my first one.
Was that inspiration also what you mentioned with Curtis was kind of, I believe you went to go visit your brother and you saw him collecting rent and you're like, dude, you're not even doing anything. You're collecting
So
money.
yeah, so he would send me to collect the rent in cash, right? So I'm like interested. I'm making like $10, $12 an hour, and he just collects like $1,500 from a tenant in cash. So that's where like inspiration comes from too. And my parents back in Jamaica, like we have some like my dad had a duplex and he passed it on to my sister and I, and we rent that out to this day. So I saw the power of real estate because my dad passed away like 10 years ago also, and he was able to pass this down to like his kids, and we're still eating from this duplex in Jamaica also. So I took the same mentality and brought it here, like, yeah, 10, 20 years from now I can still pass this down to my kid and they can eat also.
So, do you want to go back to Jamaica after when you retire? You don't have any
Nah,
plans?
yeah, yes, I joke with my friends in Jamaica that I don't want to die in America, I'd rather
Yeah,
die in Jamaica on the beach.
yeah.
So yeah, that's the goal though. And my wife is on board because her parents are Jamaican too, so she's back and forth in Jamaica a lot.
Joe, you got any questions before? Or,
Mm.
so Delroy, also, I think you touched on you have. I think you have real estate back in Jamaica also, right? And I think your wife possibly. So it's not. Were you guys doing that before you bought real estate in the States, or that was already?
That was like from parents passed down to us from like it's always like from one generation to the next. So yeah, so it was just like it was passed down to us, and we continue to do it.
And how would it be to acquire more real estate in Jamaica? Like, how is that real
So,
estate market,
so
right?
I was like before I bought my first triplex, I was in the process of buying land in Jamaica, but and then I saw the opportunity here, so I get more return on my investments when I buy here and higher rents and stuff like that. So yeah, so I focused on here first. So eventually, I'm gonna start focusing on Jamaica once I get to the goal here.
And I think also you kind of just said you just jumped right into it, right? I mean,
Hmm.
you kind of just learning as you're going, right?
Yeah, yep. So I'm learning as I'm going. That first one, I had no clue what I'm doing. I didn't know a contractor. I didn't know no one. But I was like, I said to my wife, like, yeah, if we can, if no one else lives here and we can afford it, we can just pay the mortgage and whatever. All right, and see what happens. And
Do
then
you
we did it. Hmm.
do you think your brother having properties already helped you jump
Yeah,
in? Just
he made it a lot easier because all the contractors, everyone I got it from him. So he was like the test dummy. He would go and get the terrible contractors or the good contractors, and he would pass them on to me. So I didn't have to deal with any like terrible contractors because I got them all from him, which made it a lot easier.
Yeah, I think that's why I was saying, getting your brother on or even your wife. It sounds like they had a big help in this
Hmm.
journey for you. Like you said, your brother, and I think that's the important thing, and people should take away, right? Is it doesn't have to be necessarily a family member, but just
Hmm.
someone that's ahead of them in this journey that they can piggyback or use some of their systems, right? So,
Hmm.
kind of maybe if you can talk about going from that first property to now your second one, like all that experience from the first one. I mean, was there a lot of difference in what you've learned and acquiring the next ones after that?
Yes. So the second one was in my wife's name, and it was I had a better idea of what to look for, like layouts and where we can add value and turn a two-bedroom into a three-bedroom. So it was a lot more. I had relationships with contractors. I know how to screen tenants better now. So it was a lot of learning on the first one, but the second one was a lot easier. And then the third one was even more easier. Now it's like this is pretty easy. So yeah.
If you buy property in Jamaica, do they have mortgages there? Do you have to buy outright?
So no, they have mortgages, but in Jamaica it's more. you buy the land, you build it brick by brick. But now, as things are
Oh,
getting more expensive, it's getting people are taking out more mortgages and stuff. But growing up, it was more people buy land or they have like land from family, and they will just build slowly. Like each year, they build like one little part, so the foundation. Then next year, they build the frame, and then so on, so on.
okay.
So it's a
Like
little different.
slowly as you can afford to pay for it, you build it.
Yeah. But
Mhm.
I guess because things are getting a lot more expensive, people are just doing mortgages now too. So it's becoming like here where it's mainly mortgages.
Mhm.
So
Joel, anything from you or?
I guess when you bought your first one, how much of the rents were covering your payment?
so the first one, so the two units were my first one was like the mortgage was like $3,200 and the rents were like 28, 29. And so it was covering. We only had to come on like pocket like $300, and we both work in New York, so it was pretty good, and we were able to save up a lot of money in that first one, and that's why we were able to afford the next couple, so a lot easier.
That's
So
When
awesome.
what year was your first one that you got?
2023, so it was because I was trying from like 2022, 2021, but I couldn't get anything because it was so competitive,
Yeah.
and there was like a break in the craziness when the interest rates started to rise. So I didn't get the 3% or whatever interest rate, but I got like 5.7 FHA. So so I think at that time when the rates were going, people were backing out the market, and I just like, hey, screw it.
And are you finding that the triplexes, the rents are still covering at the current interest rates?
Yes, yes. So because I we tend to look for value add properties a lot, so we don't get the turnkey properties. We look for like properties that are like slightly undervalued, and we buy those ones.
Yeah.
So is your strategy kind of a house hack, live-in renovation? So you live in maybe one unit, be fixing
Hmm.
up the others while you're living there, and then move to the next one that's renovated, and then
Yeah.
is that kind?
So yeah. So basically, no, we're seeing that like a lot of tenants are staying put because I guess they kind of like us, I guess, or they like the place where they live. So we respond to their queries a lot. So they tend to stay a lot longer that than normal. So we have tenants from 2023 that are still there and no intentions of leaving based on what they tell us.
I want to know though, and I think that's why Curtis connected with you in school, because I think you mentioned house hacking in your initial post introduction in school. But is that common in Jamaica also, or how did you pick up on house hacking as a strategy in America?
That's the only way I could afford to buy these houses. so, so I didn't have like 20%. Like that's like for a 400K house, that's like 100 grand almost. I'm like, I don't have that, So it was the only method to actually do it. So house hacking, not really in Jamaica, but here, that's the only way. I had to like learn the system, figure it out, and then try to make it work for what I can afford to do or what I have, because I don't have much money. So
Josh Burdick is asking, how is it living next to your tenants, and do they know you own the units?
now, yes, they know, and my first tenant was actually Jamaican also, which made it easier, and she was very nice, and we have a good like relationship. We have a working relationship, so like, and we treat our tenants very good, like because I think one tenant was telling me about our previous landlord. So the previous older landlord made it easier for us because they were terrible, and we try to like fix things and be more proactive. So we treat them just like normal people, I guess, equals, not like, because some landlords, especially like the older landlords, tend to treat like the young tenants kind of bad or stuff like that. So when they see us like actually trying to like be like helpful and fix things, it helps a lot. So it's like a mutual respect thing.
Was there any doubt or is there still doubt, I guess, in your mind once you jumped into acquiring your first property?
Yeah, so like the first I remember sitting on the couch, I'm like, how am I gonna do this? I spent all my money on the down payment on the closing costs. No idea what to do next. So that was where the doubt set in. I'm like, am I over my head? So and then we just figure it out and just like continue to roll with the punches.
And part of figuring out, and I think a lot of people have done it before. I mean, we're not saying it's the best strategy, but I think you've also mentioned on using 0% interest credit cards, right, to
Yeah.
figure out some things, and that's just another tool out there, right? And I think people, um, you have to just be resourceful at times. Is that kind of what you've learned in the beginning of this journey for you?
Yes, have to be resourceful because I think I had enough money to like pay the contractors, but I didn't have enough money to buy the materials. And once they keep adding up, I'm like, oh my god! So I started to use credit cards, and then after the renovation is done, the units are rented. I didn't have to like pay much in living expenses, so I was able to transfer the balances to a 0% credit card, and then we both like chipped in and paid on all the credit cards once they were on a 0% down. So I know the money is all in the properties, so it worked out.
Chris says necessity is the mother of investing. Huh. Yeah. Joe, anything? Lauren?
Was the drive to work any different today than it was previous days?
The drive to work, I take the train, so I take the
Oh,
train to work. So it's
okay.
like so. What the benefit of taking a train, right? You get a lot of time for yourself, and it's not like the New York subways where it's like kind of crazy. So the Connecticut train to New York is very calm. So
Okay.
I get to read a lot of books, I learn like come up with a game plan. So I'm very I get a lot of hours to myself to like focus on what I want to achieve, how to achieve it, and the steps I need to achieve it. So I think that's why the commute, even though sometimes bad, it helps me a lot focus on how to get to my goals. So it's like a very systematic thing for me.
Yeah,
Hmm.
having a train commute versus actually having to drive, I feel like are two totally different things because you can actually like do things while you're
Mhm.
on the train. You're not focused on just driving.
Yeah. So yeah. So I spent a couple of years of my life just a lot of time to myself, with my own thoughts.
That's cool. This honestly feels just like it's such an inspiring story just coming here, figuring it out from not knowing anything, and also, just like working your way up, going to school, getting changing jobs and then investing. And it feels like uh the American dream like is alive and well, because sometimes I think people wonder if it is. It's like people are concerned about the interest rates, they're concerned about the price of houses and saying that it's too expensive, but then you have someone who's come here and started and educated themselves and done it, and it's like there still is so much opportunity here, and I think it's really good to see somebody come here and make it work and make it happen, because there really is this narrative that the American dream is dead. So it's very inspiring to hear that you've done that and that it is alive and well.
Mhm. So like even my coworkers, we work in the same place. We have the same salary, and but the difference is they live in New York, right? And which
Mhm.
everything is expensive. So a lot of people choose comfort over like future returns and stuff like that. So I choose like the struggle first before comfort. So I think the American dream is not dead. It's just you just have to like navigate it to make it fit your life. Because I feel like if you asked me like 10 years ago when I just came to Jamaica and landed in Bridgeport, if I would be where I am now, I'll be telling you you lying, because it's in my mind. I'm like, this is you can do whatever you want, and you can do anything you set your mind to, and you can become anything you want to be in life, and you just have to believe in yourself. So I think that's where it comes from. It starts with a dream, and you just have to put in the work to get there.
Yeah. And probably always there was that aspect of like having to be uncomfortable, having to make sacrifices and a little bit of struggle within the American dream. But I think that we want it to be comfortable and it's not. And that's the part of real estate investing that a lot of people forget about. They're like, I just wanted to buy a house and I wanted it to be easy, but it's not easy. It is stressful and there is struggle. And there are going to be moments where you're like, I spent all my money. I don't know how I'm going to pay for this, or this repair came up and I don't know what I'm going to do. But you just figure it out along the way. And
Mm-hmm.
it's building that like resilience mindset more than anything. It's like, why does it get easier as you do it longer? It's like, it's more just about like the fact that your mindset is different. Of
Mm-hmm.
course, you have different contacts and you have people that you can call, so it's easier in that way. But like the things that stressed me out in the beginning of my real estate investing journey, like plumbing issues or sewer water mains breaking, like those kinds of things, they don't stress me out anymore because I'm like, oh yeah, another water main, seen this, I've seen it again. It's just like it's more like the mental resilience that comes with the reps.
And it gets easier too. It gets so much easier. So anything that happens now is like, oh, we're used to this, right? Well,
Mhm.
at the beginning, you would be panicking. So
Yeah, yeah.
yeah.
I think Lauren, kind of brought up the American dream and everything, but I'm not sure. Maybe was that your vision in initially buying real estate or building? Because you went the path of you got a degree in education, I believe, finance, right? So you
Mhm.
went down the college route, and it was that kind of what was told to you though? That was the American dream right there.
The American dream for me when coming from Jamaica was just to come make some money and go back home. I didn't have much plan, but luckily I landed around my brother, and I remember I was going to college, working at Walmart. I'm like, yo, what's the point? I'm still broke. So he's like, yeah, you're just gonna put in the work and continue to go to school. So I credit a lot of my like success now to my brother because he pushed me to like go to school. A lot of people when they come from different countries, they don't have that, and get associated with with people who are not doing much. So it doesn't turn out well for them. But for me, I was luckily I had my brother, so he pushed me to go to school, and I stayed with my brother for a while I'm going to school, which made it a lot easier too. So I was like, I benefited from my brother being here and like helping me through the first couple of years here.
Mhm.
Who did he learn from?
Yeah.
So my brother, he who did he learn from? That's a good question. I think he had it from my dad in Jamaica. So he came over and he figured it out all by himself, right? And he read a lot and educated himself. And I think his story is even way more impressive than mine because he's now a doctor, right? And he started to go back to school when he was like 33, and he became a doctor when he was 40. So now he's a doctor
Oh,
and just like investing, starting his own healthcare practice and stuff like that. So that's where I get it from when I was here. So I had a strong influence.
Steven from the Bronx is asking, do you ever think you will invest in New York City?
No, never.
That was quick.
Why not? Is it the price tag or is it the area, the city?
It's more. I think the tenant friendly laws. I guess
Mhm.
it take like I think my wife has an aunt. She owns a duplex in Brooklyn, and she's so afraid to like try to even raise the rent too much because if they stop paying, they'll be in the house for like 2 years. So we don't. So it's like it's tough. So New York, never.
I just want to remind everyone, Joel and Lauren are also streaming live right now. So go please jump over there and comment and like. And also Cody Davis and Justin Camber are doing their regular Wednesday live stream. So if you can go jump over there. They're still trying to figure out how to stream on multiple platforms, but right now they are just on YouTube. But Yasik makes a great point. He does say, "What's American dream? I rather call it land of opportunities. Those that are willing to put in the work are those that will succeed." while others calling them lucky. Absolutely. Yep.
And I think the benefit that I have too is like a lot of older investors they remember the good times or at like 2012, 2013, and they also remember the bad times. So I'm more, I guess, ignorant to it because I don't know those times. So the only time I know is now, and I'm just trying to make the best opportunity, take advantage of the opportunities I see in front of me now.
Let's see.
Yeah, that
Oh,
naivety or like the newness. I feel like that's true of every person. Like that's the beauty of like youth and or not knowing of ignorance. Like the good side of ignorance is like you don't know what it was before, so you just know what it is now. And a lot of times you hear like older people who've been investing in ages and they're like, "Oh, back in the day it was so good." It's like it's every person, like probably in 20 years you'll be saying that too. Like
Yep.
we all do that, and it's like great to do it while you're young because then you don't know what it was like before and you're just like, this is how it is.
Yep. So you're just gonna make use of it now.
Mhm.
Yeah.
let's see. There was a. Where did it go? Chris is asking, Delroy, do you still have the multi house hat going? Any family with you?
So like I think my wife was in a car accident, right? Commuting, right? So someone hit in her back. So we finished the house acts and moved closer to the city, but in still in Connecticut. So all of them are fully rented out now, and so no more house act and no family. It's just me and her now.
There is someone else from Jamaica, looks like in the chat. This Sharika Wilson says, love seeing our fellow Jamaicans doing well at Yard and abroad. Kudos to you and your family. Keep shining.
Okay, thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you for tuning in. Josh Burdick says, how are tenant laws in Jamaica?
Well, it's a bit different, right? I don't think people it's different, it's you have to be a brave soul to live in someone's house in Jamaica without paying rent, because the laws are a little tenant friendly, but if it's a bit different.
It's less about the law, more about the culture. It's like
Yes.
you don't
Yeah.
live in someone's house and not pay them.
Yeah, because you gotta think about other things other than the tenant laws.
Hmm.
Yeah.
That was a
If you
nice way
get
to
what I'm
put it.
saying.
Yeah.
Yeah. Joel, anything from you? Or
No, not right now.
yeah. Well, maybe we can pivot a little bit to we kind of touched on it earlier, but how important I guess your wife being on board for this
Hmm.
journey and how helpful that has been. I think that is, the one of the biggest struggles for a lot of people, when they're trying to go down this path, and especially the house hacking side, right? I
Hmm.
think that is the one thing where it's kind of hard to convince someone else to get on board with the house hacking idea. So how has that been?
It was pretty easy though, because she was on board from like the first date when I told her that that was my dream, that was my vision for my life. I don't vision myself being here for the next 40 years, like just working. So I don't. So that's the only way I can think of how to get out of it. So she was. It was easy sell, I guess, because who doesn't want to be retired in Jamaica, still young enough to enjoy everything? Send your kids to private school in Jamaica. Who doesn't want that life?
I
So
want that life.
exactly. So it was an easy sell.
Yeah. It's interesting because it's also I just think of like in the US and I think of my friends who've grown up here and just don't have that same perspective or initiative, and the idea that you could be living in the States working until you're of retirement age in your like 60s or 70s
Hmm.
sounds like my worst nightmare.
Yeah.
And
Because.
yet it is true for so many people. Like that is probably the majority of Americans are working well into their 70s.
Hmm. Like I remember going on the subway to Brooklyn, and I saw these older people in their suits and stuff going to work. I'm like, it looks like they can barely go, but they have no choice but to go.
Yeah.
and I don't want that for my life. I want my life full of options.
Mhm.
So that's some of the main motivators of a long commute. Benefits of a long commute too. You see
Yeah.
other older people just doing it every day.
Yeah.
Speaking of options, when you go back to Jamaica, like where's like the prime spot to be? Like where is like the best place to be, the best views, the water, all that?
I I think Ocho Rios, Saint Anne Ocho Rios. That's like the perfect spot. Or it differs, right? Since I'm from there, it's a little bit different. I know more spots, and I think about like Portland, Jamaica, and that's like close to where all the James Bond movies that are shot in Jamaica are. Like so, Portland, Jamaica, that's a very beautiful place. It's still like very country, so it's not too touristy. So it's like a good mixture of like little tourism and like the beautiful scenery of Jamaica. Also, that's my favorite part of Jamaica.
Do you guys ever go back and visit throughout the year, or are you kind of just waiting?
So I go like 2 or 3 times a year, to be honest. And we
Nice.
just had our wedding in Jamaica in like last month. So it was a very nice wedding on the beach. That's the
Mhm.
dream, you know?
Yeah.
What would you say maybe is a amount that you would need to live comfortably in Jamaica, like as a family or a couple, I guess? Because like
So
Mikey in the community talks about Japan because his wife's from Japan, and he's talking about his goal is kind of I think it's about 3K, and that
mhm.
would be like a good comfortable in Japan as of right now, you know. But what Jamaica, what would be like a amount that you think you would need to live
So
comfortably?
for me, since me and like my family have like properties in Jamaica already, it's like it's easier because I think 3 to 5K is a comfortable life, but I kind of want to live a little luxurious life. So in Jamaica, so I'm thinking like like maybe like 8K, yeah, to live where you don't have to worry about anything really.
Kids are
So
going to private school.
exactly, you're getting picked up by me at the end of the day, and I'm there at the sports days and everything. So yeah.
Man, you're
Hey,
Um,
selling me this dream. I think I'm gonna have
well,
to
well,
convince my
before I
boyfriend we're moving to Jamaica when we retire. I want
Yeah,
to
it's
I
a
want to
nice
eat
spot.
fruit on the beach.
It looks
Yeah.
like Sharika Wilson, who's tuning it, could be an agent or something in Jamaica, possibly, or an investor. But they are saying real estate investing is on a high here in Jamaica, especially in our high tourist St. Anne, Montego Bay, Trelawney, Portland,
Hmm.
St. Thomas is on a rise as well. So, Sharika, I don't know if you're on social media or anything, or I did put Delroy's Instagram page. So if you want to connect with
oh
him,
yeah,
or
yeah. Yeah. Shrika, if you could drop your Instagram in there, we'll check
yeah,
it out.
if you're, I don't know if you're an investor or agent, but definitely put it in there. But yeah, let me just, I see Coach Nick here. Coach Nick, my weekly Bitcoin wrap up. But he does put out a lot of daily content. So if you want more daily information there, definitely check him out. And let's see, Hyder says that's a gem. Delroy laid out his grand plan on date number one. Good way to screen
Mm,
prospective spouses.
hmm
Wow.
Yeah. Some people didn't buy it though. So they're like they're like, if you retire early, what are you gonna do? I'm like, I don't know, but at least I have options to do what I wanna do. Right?
Mhm.
So some people fail the screening. So it's like
Yeah.
screen that tenant, right?
Well,
It's like
that's kind of what your story also, you and Curtis were talking about. Curtis is a teacher, in the Washington area, but some of your coworkers, I think, were maybe a little more negative about you buying real estate or this vision that you had, right? And you kind of just were like, well, if everything fails,
I'm be
I'll
here with you.
yeah.
So it's so like I said this to my coworker like a couple months ago, like like if I go and try this real estate thing and I fail, what's the worst gonna happen? I'm gonna be right here working beside you, you know. So it's like, but if I succeed, I'll be in Jamaica living the life the way I want to live. So it's like, it's it's perspective, right? So like because I came from Jamaica with nothing, right? What do I have to lose? So it's
Mhm.
like if I fail, I'll be right here taking the train every day, being on the subway until I'm like 65. So what's the worst that could happen? That's worse than me failing, right? So
Mhm.
yeah.
Yeah, Curtis was saying he has to be careful how he says that though. He doesn't want
Mm.
to like insult the other teachers, right? Like he doesn't want to be like, yeah. So he
Worst
definitely,
that could happen to me is I'm right where you
yeah.
are.
I kind of say it a little more differently though. I say I'd be here in the trenches with you.
Ah,
So,
Yeah.
I like that. I
so
like
I'll
that.
be here with you going through the grind. So I say it a little different than the way Curtis says it. His way is a little harsh, to be honest.
What does your family think, or what do people back in Jamaica think when you tell them this is what you're doing?
I don't.
Yeah.
I don't really share too much. I don't really share too much on social media. I don't really share too much of like my investing journey unless it's really with close friends. But I don't
Yeah.
really talk about it much, to be honest.
Mhm.
I just kind of
Well,
like slowly build.
that's
Yeah.
gonna change because after you get off of this live, you're gonna text all your people, here's Mark's clip, and then he'll get like 100 more subscribers.
So, so like it's funny. Like when I saw like the Instagram request yesterday, I'm like, oh my god, should I accept it? Because it's gonna be on my social media. People gonna see it, and I'm like, yeah, whatever, just do it.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. So to that point, I mean, you're not. Well, I don't want to. How would I put it? Not completely against like networking, I guess, or
Hmm.
because you are in a couple communities, right? I think
Hmm.
initially you are in Coach Carson's RPM
Hmm.
program, and you're also in the school community one rental at a time. Talk about those two, like how the both communities and what's maybe the differences and how that has helped you in this journey.
So now since we've grown to 9 units, I understand long term rentals man pretty well, and I thought, no, if I want to grow further faster, I need to educate myself and put myself around people who understand this thing better than me. Try to take nuggets and try to give value also at the same time. So in Coach Carson now, I think it's a little closer for me because I'm more active in Coach Carson, and because and you get to one-on-one mentorship from him when you need it too, and you're in action groups and everything. So I really enjoy that, and I became closer with the people in Coach Carson's group more than school group. School group now is like just a bunch of people just talking and getting along, right? But in Coach Carson is like you back in school. You have groups that you work on projects together. You share your idea and people come up give you their perspective. So I'm a little leaning towards Coach Carson's group more because it's like a smaller, closer knit group.
Yeah.
Much more expensive though.
Yeah, but if you it's like 3K for the year. But if you think about it, it's $250 a month, right? And that's like some people's gym membership,
Yeah.
right? And the decisions we are making, like the big decisions we are making, are gonna be like 100,000 decisions. So
Yeah.
what is $250 a month compared to like you making like connection that will bring you even more money
Yeah.
in the future? Networking. So the network is impressive, also. Just to let you know.
Yeah, I think the way a lot of people like to say it is, I think Coach Carson's one is a little more um, kind of specific help. I mean, like you said,
Mhm.
you're kind of paying for it, so there is a little more accountability there, where you have a little more one-on-one type things. Where the school community is more just like a community, and you're gonna kind of get out of it what you put into it. And
Yeah.
it's kind of the more you're there, the more active you're there. The more benefits you'll probably get out of it.
Yeah. And in
Well,
for me, from my experience in Coach Carson, I'm like, I think this needs to be a little bit more expensive because I getting all my value. I'm like, well, this is pretty undervalued in my mind.
Joe, you're gonna
uh,
say something?
yeah. So when you sell your first triplex and then you buy your first Airbnb in Jamaica, apparently,
Mm.
how far can 200K get you in Jamaica?
200K, I think Sharika probably know more than me right now, but I think 200K can get you a pretty. I don't really. I haven't been looking at the Airbnbs in Ocho Rios or Montego Bay because the prices have gone up a lot. So maybe Sharika can drop something in the chat saying how much the price range be right now.
You know what? That would have I didn't save the clip for I can't play it, but there was there was this Airbnb clip that I saved. I know maybe I'll bring it on next time. But this lady, man, I don't know. You give me your guys' thoughts on it. This lady was basically complaining about short-term rentals or Airbnbs, saying she just doesn't understand why people stay there. I mean, maybe if you have like a bachelorette party or something, but for a lot of it's like I'm not going on a trip to want to clean up, play house, housekeep, do these all these things. So, do you guys like to stay at Airbnbs when you guys
Well, I
travel?
think you got to look at your Airbnb. Like when my Airbnbs, nobody has to clean a thing. We have our checkout instructions. When people say, "Hey, I don't see any checkout instructions," I say that's because we take care of everything. Don't worry about a thing. Just don't forget anything. But thanks for staying. I don't have them start a load of laundry or do dishes or anything like that. So I think you can see all of that on Airbnb when you book a place, is what their checkout instructions are. And if it's like, hey, please do your own dishes and do the laundry and all of that, and it's not reflected in the price, like it's not a cheaper accommodation, then yeah, I could see people being annoyed by that. I would be like, I don't know, like if you're going to charge me if I don't check out properly, I could see that being super annoying.
Yeah,
Um,
and
but
that's the reason I stopped staying at Airbnbs.
Wait,
yeah,
I need someone's getting sensitive in the chat. Jason says, "Hey, that's the clip I sent you." So I think he's offended that I didn't mention that he's the one that sent me the clip. So I completely forgot. But yes, Jason gets credit for it. So when I do show it, he'll get credit.
yeah, I think we can all agree, like it got out of hand. And that's where it's annoying because you're like, I'm paying you the same price as I would be at a hotel, but I have to do all this work. Then yeah, then that's totally lame. But I think if you're using Airbnbs where you're staying and you get more amenities, like they have a hot tub or a private pool, or you have a big group and you can all stay together in a house and split the cost, and it actually is cheaper than everybody getting their own hotel, then I think it's worth it. But yeah, that is, the variety of hosts makes Airbnb feel a little bit more like a gamble.
Yeah, so
James Hillis says that's what we do also. So I believe that he's talking what you're talking about, Lauren, for your Airbnb. And Yasik, yes, definitely is promoting the Thursday Pittsburgh call at 3 p.m. Eastern, which is probably the best call in school. So everyone, it is open to all, so everyone should tune in. But Wednesday tonight is also the call that probably goes the longest, though. It's the Wednesday, the longest call in school. I believe it starts at 9 p.m. Eastern, but it can go like 6 7 hours. I mean, but the first couple hours is real estate, and after that, it's just about life and other things going on. Uh,
Wow, that's
Jason,
like just live stream.
yeah. Hey, she says 200K US dollars can get you a studio or one bedroom apartment, but luxury for short-term rentals in Ocho Rios, from what I'm seeing, are above 350K US dollars, gated pool, etc. Ah, interesting. Do they have HOAs? Do you know?
I think so. I think they do like a small fee, but yeah,
Well, like I said, Sharik, it sounds like you are an investor or agent in Jamaica. Like I said, throw your social medias in the chat, and people can reach out to you. Or like I said, you can reach out to us after, and maybe we'll get you on and we'll talk about the Jamaica market and see
yeah,
how.
that would be
Well,
cool.
yeah.
So Lauren can buy her spot in Jamaica. I can come by and visit.
Yeah. Yeah,
Hey, Kurt.
I'll be eating fruit on the beach in my retirement right next to you.
That sounds like a plan.
Hey, Curtis is here. He says Delroy and his wife is the real deal. 2 hour commute is commitment. Yeah.
Hmm.
Mhm.
Hmm.
Uh, so Charles, who runs the Wednesday call. Oh, so Yasik says Wednesday call is where people go to sleep. So Charles is taking offense. But he says just those from Jersey. Uh, yeah. Joe, anything from you? If not, I'm gonna maybe throw some clips in and get you
I
guys.
mean, Delroy, I don't think you caught it, but I was talking. I asked you the question about the trip to work today specifically
Hmm.
because the Knicks last night came back from 21 points in the fourth quarter So if that was my team in my city, I'd be walking around chipper. I don't know what I'd be doing, screaming, honking. I remember when the Cardinals won the World Series in 2006. The next day, like everyone was just honking on the highway, just like everyone happy.
That's funny.
So most of the people on the train are from Connecticut, so they're most likely just sleeping,
Yeah,
focused on going to work.
they don't give two shits about the Knicks.
They don't really care. They're
Plus,
they're
it's
focused on going
rigged.
to work.
Plus, it's rigged. NBA is rigged, right? Didn't they already announce they're gonna win?
They did.
That is a little clips going around that the NBA already knows who won. But that's it. What do you expect? The Cavs are gonna choke, right? Is that who they played? Is that in?
Cavs, yeah.
Yeah, Harden's a choker, man. Come on, you gotta admit that. That's why he's not on my top 10 guys that hasn't won yet. He deserves not to win. Chris is saying, Delroy, have you had others you know in Jamaica follow your example?
So I think other people want to follow the example I said, but I guess I put it as a number one priority for me, and others don't put it as a number one priority for them. So other things comes up in their life, even though they say they want to do it, they don't actually make some of the sacrifices to actually do it. So I think that's a difference, because I encourage a lot of friends and stuff to like do something similar, but their focus is on different things or different priorities. So my priority is to like uh, you know be in Jamaica. So that's my number one goal, and I take steps to do that. So I haven't found someone that actually. My brother says the same thing too, because he basically gives him like us immigrants the blueprint to live a better life in America, right? Or the life you want to live. Basically, once you come up, you either learn a trade or get a good job or whatever, and you go to school, and then you use your money to invest in things that can give you a return. So basically, a lot of people say they want to do it, but they never take the steps or make the sacrifice to actually do it.
Yeah.
I'm not seeing it. I don't know if you guys. It looks like maybe Sharika is saying that she put her profiles in the comments, but I do not see it. So maybe you can reach out to one of us after if you want to send us your contact or social media, but I do not see it in the chat. It says please check in my message above Jason, but I do not see it. But Jason does say no skiing in Jamaica, Lauren. I don't know.
Well, you got jet ski.
Okay.
Jesse? Yeah. Well, I would always do a little half-half, a little Sun Valley, Jamaica, a little back and forth.
You be a snowbird. You
Yeah.
come down in winter. That's not bad.
Well, I like the winters here, so I'd be like a spring bird.
Oh, okay.
Yasik says most people want the result without the effort.
Yeah.
That is for
So,
sure.
and I think even like a lot of my coworkers, they're 9 to 5ers for life, right? And they're they're afraid to take a risk, right? But the biggest risk is not taking a risk, right? So that's the way I look at it. The biggest risk you can take is not taking a risk, right? So that's what I tell myself. So like, for example, even in selling this first house tag to like buy a couple more, so exchange one for two. That's a risk, but it's a risk that might accelerate the path, the growth. So
Yep.
something I'm thinking about.
I have another question for you. So you guys take the train into New York for work. Does that minimize the need for a vehicle? Like, do you have one vehicle, two vehicles?
So she works in the Bronx. So there's not like a direct train to the Bronx from Connecticut. So she drives from Connecticut to the Bronx, which is
Okay.
closer to Connecticut. So we still have two vehicles, but it's the same cars we had since we met.
Okay. So they're paid off, is what you're saying.
Yeah, they paid off. So
Cool.
no car payment.
That's awesome.
Yeah, watch out. There's some shady fellas in the Bronx, like Steven. Nah. Let's see. Chris says words and actions. Hope they take the leap. Yep. Yasik says I call it suck a lot early. in the middle, or at the end, or just suck little your whole life. Choice is yours. um, Hyder says, "Yep, losing is locked in without taking the leap." Yep.
Mhm.
And then Charles says, "Most people want friends without the abuse too." And here's Gus coming. Gus says, "The biggest risk is not taking a risk." Yeah. Josh is asking, how are land ownership laws for foreigners in Jamaica? Great question.
So a lot of locals are complaining that the builders are not building for local Jamaicans because local Jamaicans can't afford the new bills. So it's being advertised for mostly like foreigners. So the laws are pretty good because it's been like you're the main market. The foreigners are the main clients for the new bills. So yeah, if you go down, you talk to a realtor, they'll be so quick to help you because you're the main target audience.
And you're allowed legally to own
Yes.
land. Yeah.
Just don't mess with the beaches, or people will don't mess with the beaches because people will start to like come on your property and like try to like protest about you locking off the beach from the locals.
Oh, trying to make it like a private
Private
beach.
beach, yes. So that's a big thing in Jamaica now. A lot of investors are coming and trying to make the beaches private. So people
Ah,
are like try to protest and go against it. So that's one thing.
nice.
A lot of similarities to Hawaii, it sounds like.
Mm,
A lot of the same issues, right?
yeah.
Yeah, this was a fun one. Delroy, it's good to get you on. Joel, Lauren, any final things you want to bring up? Anything you guys
Well,
working on?
Delroy, I'm gonna have you on my channel too. I got to get back at it. I'm kind of fallen off having had like 3 guests on and then
Uh,
fell off. So
you gotta. This should be the plan. Whoever comes on Wednesday,
I
you just
agree.
schedule it so that way you have no work to do. I mean, like
Yeah.
either that's your next guest for the next week, or so that way it's simple, right? You can just
Yeah.
Hey, Lauren, I can create a Claude Autobot and sync with Mark's guest, and just you can pay me $100, and I'll just build a bot to do it for you automatically. You just show up. Don't even think about it.
I love it.
$100, $1,000, we'll figure it out. No big deal.
I've been having too much fun lately, guys. I don't have time for work.
fun with what? Your hotel, or just fun in I mean, just
No, just like life. I'm going to Bruno Sand Dunes tomorrow, and I haven't really been traveling, but I got a mountain bike. I've been mountain biking, so yeah, just hiking, biking.
Yeah, summer is almost here.
It's summer here. It's summer here.
Yeah, Sharika says she reshared, but I think Sharika, I think you're not able to put links in the chat unless you're a moderator. So I think that's the issue right now. You may have to just find one of us on
Just
social.
type out her handle.
Oh wow! See, Lauren is versed in all of this.
Tech savvy.
Yeah, Sharika, maybe if you can find one of us on social media, you can always message us there. Like I'll put Delroy and Joy, social media, you can reach out to them. Let's see. Yasik says Lauren has to hire a social media manager that would do all of that for her.
100%, Yasik.
No, I'm not looking for any more work, Charles. No, not at all. I'll just do my stuff. Trail season, Brady said, I've hiked 4 times in the last week. Nice.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Brady knows he's in the same zone as me.
Hey, Mark.
Yes.
And Lauren, speaking about speed, I'm going to hook up with Jeff on Monday, the 30th, while I'm in Colorado, and we're going to do a podcast. I don't have the logistics figured out, but we're going to hook up on Monday.
Well, why don't you talk? Who is Jeff? Maybe people in the chat don't know who Jeff is. What are you talking about?
Well, I don't want to mess up. Well, his name is Jeff White, and I get his wife's name wrong, so I don't want to mispronounce it. But they've got all kinds of rentals that they built up, house hacking. I think like 7 house hacks in the Denver market.
And if you're gonna so So Delroy, right? You talked about house hacking being a big part of your journey, right?
Mhm.
And I'm sure people in the school community might know One Rental at a Time. They were presenters. What are they? Year two, they presented on stage. Jeff and Suleika, they are known as PTO for life, maybe on social media, and they got that as paid time off. That was kind of what caught their attention. But they, I think, are just closed on their 10th house hack. So
Mm.
they kind of have the maybe unofficial official record for house hacking,
Mhm.
but they are definitely that is their path to building financial freedom. Jeff is also a big agent in the Denver or Colorado area, but they've leveraged house hacking as their path to financial freedom. And I'm sure I don't know if you met her, and you'd probably love her. They're always traveling and doing all kinds of cool stuff. But part of it too is they're not. They've advanced from even just regular house hacking to like I think they're even implementing like short-term rental, rent by the room. So it's like
Mhm.
they've taken it to the next level. So they house hack, but it's also
Mhm.
like they're using rooms as Airbnbs and renting. Yeah, so they are definitely figuring out ways to
So
maximize.
that's the evolution, right? I guess you get each one you learn and you improve as you go along. So that's the evolution of like a whole hacker, a beginner investor. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, so Jeff, I think Joel reached out to Jeff, and so what did you say? What is the date? And you're good. What did you say? Live stream, or you're gonna do like a recording like you did
Yeah,
with
gonna do a
Trisha and Brandon?
recording. Yeah, but that's gonna be Monday, May 30th, I think, or maybe I think it's June 1st actually. But yeah, that last weekend of May. So yeah, next Monday's my birthday, so I'll be
Happy
here in
happy
town.
belated birthday. Happy early birthday.
Yeah, I turned 1 year older than Mark.
But oh wait, so okay, so tell everyone though, right? So you're kind of just a tour, like you're going around, seems like and interviewing a lot of people, right?
Yeah, I mean, started in Orlando last November, and then we got it into Vegas. I brought my equipment. We did some recordings there. Set something up in Dallas. A couple things fell through to do something in Kansas City, but the next one's going to be in LA on June 13th, which is also going to be same time frame as the World Cup. So we're going to mix in some festivities there. And then this Colorado thing, just hey, I'm going to be there. Might as well just do something. So yeah, but just trying to be able to get to different markets and interview people in person on what's going on.
Awesome. Love
Very
it.
cool. Yeah. Chris tells Lauren, make some quick videos, 10 questions, 10 2-sentence answer or less, and it's easy to post as a short.
Chris, that's enough out of you.
Delroy, quickly though, I think Curtis brought it up also. Will you be attending the Vegas event in January? The one with the
Yes, most likely. Because I think I'm enjoying meeting new people that are investing in real estate too. And it makes it feel like I'm not crazy. Because in my regular corporate job, I feel crazy. Right?
Yeah.
So being around like everyone makes me feel normal. So I'll definitely be there.
Well, if you don't go this next year, just be prepared to be pestered every other week from Mark. Why are you not going? Why are you not going? Because it took me 2 years, me and Lauren 2 years to get there, but it was a
Mm,
blast. It was amazing
Yeah, but
time.
but even better for you, Delroy, is that Coach Carson, as of now, has said he's going to be there, right?
hmm.
So even better. I don't know if you met him yet in person, but
No, not
you'll
yet.
get to meet Coach Carson there, who was a year one speaker. But also his RPM event usually takes place, I think, later in
It's
January.
gonna it's gonna be the week after.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna be traveling a
Is
lot
he going to
too.
do it in
So
Charlotte again or somewhere in that area, South Carolina, North Carolina
yeah,
area?
South Carolina.
Yeah. But yeah, the event is in January as of now, still yet. Has been some more speakers mentioned. So like I said, Coach Carson is on the ticket, and it sounds like as of now, Scott Trench and Henry Washington will also be speaking at the event. So that should be cool.
Where
And
do where do we get tickets?
usually, probably late August, maybe early September, they become available, and it sounds like the whole VIP experience is going to take on a whole different feel this year because I think a lot of people were saying the VIP ticket was losing a lot of its value. So I think this year It's going to be like a the opportunity to be a part of live audience interview podcast style stuff. So I think the podcast room is going to move. The VIPs will have opportunities to sit in on these interviews and I think ask questions. I'm not sure. And it also sounds as if I'm going to have to moderate the bald guy and the lumberjack debating or talking. So it sounds like I'll be a part of that. And if people haven't seen, I put out a short of the lumberjack him and Dion had a little debate the other week on stocks and real estate, and the lumberjack is going at it with a lot of the people in the comments section. So he definitely likes to engage. So go check that out on social media. And if everyone hasn't heard, Dion did mention it on his live stream yesterday. He did have a health scare recently. He did have a heart attack. Seems like he's doing fine. But yeah, if you want to message him or just see if he's okay, but he did mention it on his live stream. So yeah, it definitely I think it puts everything in perspective, right? People, it's just at any point, right? I mean, it's and that's why this financial freedom path is definitely important, right? So give yourself options. Sharika says no links, but my message not coming on my. Her Instagram is her full name. Okay, let me write that down before. But if yeah, you guys,
I searched that, but there's a couple of them, so I don't know who's what.
okay.
Well, luckily Dion doesn't have to go to work the next day.
Yeah.
Or,
Absolutely.
yeah, so that's the benefit of investing in real estate, making
You guys, I
options
have
for
to
your own
jump
life.
off because I have a call, but
All right, Lauren. Thanks for this. Wait for
Delroy,
your
we'll,
next
we'll
video.
connect.
Okay, see you soon.
See you. Bye, guys.
Bye,
I
Lauren.
see ya.
Thanks. Let me just Charles says after you stir them. No, I didn't. I stirred no one up. But definitely that was a fun little debate. And like I said, they're both Dion and Lumberjack are both real estate guys, but Dion always likes to take the other side, right? To kind of he thinks that's very important in teaching and educating is that you're able to see the other perspective and come up with an argument for that side, right? So definitely he did a great job standing up for stocks as a investment class. So he did a good job. Sharika does say, I'm a new investor, started in 2024, getting my realtor license this year for sure. Okay. Sharika, I mean, quick, are you in Jamaica though? Is that what you're saying? Or you're in the States and you follow Jamaica real estate close?
I think I found her. I mean, she's also got a YouTube channel.
Oh,
Mhm.
okay. Well, cool.
It's
Well,
got 2,000 subscribers.
oh, is that you, Sharika? I don't know if you can confirm or deny or whatnot, but oh, All Nighter Hider says he found her. Okay, cool. Everyone, we'll try maybe get her on. Those that
So I
want.
guess we're all gonna be retired in Jamaica. It seems.
I'm looking at Japan. I'm looking.
Okay.
I'll spend a lot of time in Japan, which I will be at in June. I'll be there at the end of June for some stuff.
So I
Um,
guess eventually we have to keep the ORAD event in Jamaica.
oh, that'll be interesting. Yeah, yeah.
Uh,
I want I wonder if I don't know if he mentioned it on the live stream. I wonder if Dion is still going on the cruise. Is that his plan?
mm,
I'm not sure. I'm not sure. So he was planning I think the cruise and same time I'm going to be in Japan that latter part of June. He is taking a cruise. Millennial Mike's honeymoon is kind of on there, and other people from the community were welcome to join and jump on. But yeah, I haven't heard. I didn't hear if he was still going to do it. But I mean, Joel, any final words? Anything else you want to mention before we wrap things up? How's lending? How's the market? I mean, I don't know. Maybe you can confirm. Like I was talking, and Val meant, but it seems like everybody's so nitpicky right now. Appraisals, inspections, all these type of stuff. So things are taking a lot longer.
Yeah, that. I mean, some things are happening very, very smoothly, and some things are popping up where there's just weird, random things popping. Yeah, that's
All right, Evan. Real quick, Sharika has a new channel. It's Hooked on Real Estate. I'll go look it up after, and I'll connect with her, and maybe we can get her on. But I think she said she has an old channel you may have found. But I will definitely connect with you, Sharika. Oh, okay. I don't know. Do you guys have time for a little bit? Final question that me and Gus talked about quite a bit yesterday. Do you guys have a little bit of time?
yes.
Okay. So yesterday, do I have that clip saved? Shoot, I don't have it here. But yesterday it was Nate. Nate Berger, I forget, Nate Berger, I think. He was talking about kind of the Burr strategy, but he also started it off talking about how his son, I forget, maybe late teens, early 20s, but he was on his seventh property, I believe. Um, but talking about how his son went to school, went to, I think he went maybe college or anyways, we're talking about school, graduating, and how sometimes that is not the path to reaching financial freedom, and how we can kind of get distracted on that. But then the whole discussion kind of went into public or private schools, sending your kids. And Delra, I forgot. I'm sorry, I may have missed it, but I don't know if you have any kids or
No.
if that's the plans. But I think you touched on private school also. But do you guys have thoughts on that as far as private, public school, sending your kids that, or even homeschool? Homeschool started becoming a discussion also too. So, Joe, you have any kind of thoughts on that, real quick?
Oh yeah, I mean, I went to a private high school, and it was a positive experience for me, and it helped me along the way. Um, you know, my kids go to public school; they're in first kindergarten, and they're probably going to go public all the way through. And that's not always my decision at this point, but um, I just think, yeah, like college is so overpriced; it's gone up exponentially the last 20 years. That I mean, unless you're going to go into a certain profession where you absolutely have to have that certain type of a degree, like you may be able to go into more of an entrepreneurship opportunity, learn about real estate. I mean, but that's only going to be a small percentage of people that are going to do that. So I think there's a place for all of it, each of it. But I think it's more. There's more opportunity to be able to skip college than there ever has been and be successful.
All right, Delroy, before I hear your thoughts, I just want to say there is Sharika's YouTube channel, Hooked on Real Estate. So everyone, please go jump over there, subscribe, show her some support, and maybe we can get her on the channel to talk about Jamaican real estate. Quickly though, Sharika, I know you mentioned you're a newer investor. Are you investing in Jamaica, or are you trying to
Yeah.
invest in the
She's
States?
she says she's in Jamaica.
But is she trying to invest in like US smart, like
Okay.
or just, yeah. But yeah, so quickly, so Delroy, what is your, I heard you mention private school a few times.
Yeah.
What's
So
your
like
thoughts on that?
for me, I don't have much experience with private public schools in the States, but I know that like in Jamaica, like in private schools, you get the best of everything, right? So yeah, I even noticed that my niece, she's in a private school in Jamaica, and when she comes over here and interact with other like kids, like other nieces and nephews that are in public school, it's very different. It's like it's a big difference. And plus, the school system in Jamaica is very different from school system here too. So it's like a multiple different things. So I would send my kids to private school. Yeah, but on college, the degree you get doesn't determine the person you're gonna become, right? You is the person that makes the degree, if that makes sense. You have to have that internal fire to make whatever degree you get into something that will build the life you want. So it's like it has to be like an internal fire too. So it's a good combination.
Yeah, totally agree. I mean, I think it's hard to you want to give your child or your children the best opportunities. But I think what I kind of talked about yesterday was, I think I feel sometimes, especially in Hawaii, and that's all I can really speak of. It's a lot of times families are putting themselves or extending themselves quite a bit to put their kids into private school, and I think that's where the struggle. And it's the same thing as some people purchasing a home that is more than they can afford it on paper, but right, when you look at the cost of it, the expense, do they need that big of a home and things like that, and how much is it possibly setting their future back? And I think a lot of people in Hawaii just, private school there is benefits, but sometimes it's um, extending themselves quite a bit to put their kids there.
And private schools in the Caribbean or in Jamaica are not as expensive as private schools here. So so that's a big difference too.
Yeah, I think the last I saw was the top private school in Hawaii was about 40K a year
It's
per
nowhere
kid.
close.
Yeah, so it's pretty wild.
Hmm.
But yeah, very well put, Joel. College is overpriced with government subsidies and overvalued in terms of curriculum. Yeah, Very true. Any final word, Delroy? I hope you had a fun time. I think you have an amazing story. I'm glad you came on, and hopefully, like I said, we hopefully get more people in the school community want to jump on. I think next week we have. He was in the school community. He's not there currently. Matt, I'm not sure what's the proper way to pronounce his last name. I say Parrot, but Matt Parrot. But he's been a part of the One Rental at a Time community for a while. I believe he's went to year 1 and year 2 in Vegas. I don't think he went to year 3. But he is I think he's in the Notre Dame area investing. So he'll be on next week talking about his market, his journey. So we'll get him on. And then who do we have after that? I forget. I got to go look at the calendar. We have a couple. James Hillis, who was here in the chat. He'll be on here in a few weeks. And then I'll be in Japan. So I think we might have only 2 or 3 weeks lined up left. And then it won't be till July after that.
You're not gonna live stream in Japan with your backdrop?
No, I'm not. No, I'm there to travel. I'm there to. No, I don't know. I might do some stuff, but
you gotta do at least one.
Why do I have to do one?
So that we can see the backdrop. So we can see what the scene behind you in Japan.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see wherever I'm at. I'm not gonna go out of my way to do anything. We'll see.
Rude.
That's rude. But Sharika does say yes. Started investing here in Jamaica. Thanks for the chance. Yeah, definitely. Maybe like something in July. Well, like I said, I got a few weeks lined up, or we'll try to get you on and see if we can connect. But yeah, everyone. Wednesday tonight, longest going school call. It'll be on. I think 9. I always forget 9 p.m. Eastern, I believe. But definitely, like I said, it may not show up when you go to the school because it might be only scheduled for an hour. But the link may still be live. So always go to the calendar section, and I'm sure the call will still be going on. And that's all I got. Delroy, any final words from you then?
Now, I guess my final word is that sometimes the dream it has to start from within, right? It starts with a dream, and then you have to make the steps to get to your goal. And sometimes it won't be easy, but you gotta choose like a hard life now for comfort later, and not comfort now for a hard life later. So that's it.
Very cool. Does sound like somebody did comment, though. It does sound like Dion is still going on the cruise. So if everyone, yeah. So yeah, very cool. Everyone, thanks for joining today. I will be back Friday with Emily, my regular guest on Friday. It's always a fun time. We don't know where that usually goes also, but always good. Thanks everyone for tuning in. Joe, Delroy, thanks for doing this, you guys.
Thanks.
Thanks, Mark. See you.